To go along with the article, I would now like to show you some golf balls, give a rough estimate of their price and how collectible they are. The first ones we talked about are the earliest ones, a feather golf ball dating from about 1800 up until about 1850. These are extremely difficult to get, and you'd rarely come across one on the market except from specialised auctions. These are three reproduction ones, cost about £50 each. But an original feather ball, the worst or the cheapest would be £1,000 up to £14,000. When gutty became popular, the first ones were smooth shaped gutty balls. But again, these are extremely rare and only made from about 1848 to 1850. After that, they found that if they put a pattern on the gutty ball, it would actually fly a lot straighter. And the first ones were done with just a patterned hammer. This would be an example of a hand hammered gutty ball. Prices would range from 150 to £400 or £500. Then, as they developed, they produced molds and could make machine molded gutty balls. And these are three very fine examples. This would be about 1870 to 1890. These balls, again, in good condition, £100 to £200. By 1890, they started to produce brambled gutty balls. These are three fine examples here. They're almost like a blackberry. The first one, the black one, is their natural colour, and then they would be painted. Again, these can be found more easily nowadays, but again, condition is extremely important. A lot of them are quite badly damaged. It also is nice if they have their original paint, but the range again would be from £40 to £100. But again, be sure quality is important. The next example, probably from about 1910, is the start of the rubber cord golf balls. This is a very unusual patterned one, but because of its very poor condition, it is not worth very much, £10 to £30. By 1910 to roughly about 1950, this next type of ball was very popular, a meshed patterned golf ball. But again, they need to be in extremely good quality, possibly better if they're in an original box. But again, a nice box of these pattern balls, £200 to £300. We move on now to some very early Dunlop 65s, again in an early box, a box of 6 of them, and in their original tissue paper. And these would be probably the late 1940s, probably worth about £50 to £60 for a box of 6 of them. Following this again, some early Dunlop 65s, and they're in their original box, original wrappers, and a Christmas box makes them slightly more valuable. Again, possibly £40, £50. As we move on we now come to a box of Penfold golf balls. Again, possibly about the 1950s. Again, all with their original wrappers and their original box. Again, £30, £40, £50. We move on now to the early 1970s. You probably remember these, the Uni Royal golf ball with the hexagonal dimples on it. Again, £20, £30, £40 for a complete box and the original wrappers. Then we'll all be familiar with these from the 1960s, 1970s. A complete box of Penfold Aces in the original box and wrappers. And then you'll be familiar with the Dunlop Warwicks in the 60s or 70s. And finally a box of Dunlop 65s, 60s and 70s. Value of these boxes, again, unfortunately, is only about £15 to £30. They need to be in their original wrappers and their original box. Finally, another very popular collectible item is logo balls. Now again, these aren't worth very much, but are good fun to collect. So the most important thing about collecting golf balls is the very, very early ones. It is important that you buy from a reputable dealer to ensure that they're not fake balls. But as you move on into the 30s, 40s, 50s, it is really very, very important that the balls are in their original wrappers and their original boxes. As we said, a lovely box of Dunlop 65s or Warwicks, unfortunately only worth 15 to 25 pounds. The places to purchase or collect golf balls, an auctioneer called Mullock in England is a very good for sports memorabilia, and I would often buy from John Mullock. Other sites are like eBay, but again, this is very difficult to tell the quality of them, and be very, very careful if you're buying from eBay. So I hope you enjoy that. I hope you start collecting golf balls. It is good fun, and it is not terribly expensive. Enjoy.